Welcome to Interview Hub. Here you will find the complete series of core Java interview question and answer. Question 1. What are static blocks and static initializers in Java? Static blocks or static initializers are used to initialize static fields in Java. We declare static blocks when we want to initialize static fields in our class. Static blocks get executed exactly once when the class is loaded. Static blocks are executed even before the constructors are executed. Question 2. How to call one constructor from the other constructor? Within the same class, if we want to call one constructor from other, we use this method. Based on the number of parameters we pass appropriate, this method is called. Restrictions for using this method. 1. This must be the first statement in the constructor. 2. We cannot use to this methods in the constructor. Question 3. What is method overriding in Java? If we have methods with the same signature, same name, same signature, same return type in the superclass and subclass, then we say the subclass method is overridden by the superclass. So now when to use overriding in Java? If we want the same method with different behavior in the superclass and subclass, then we go for overriding. When we call overridden method with the subclass reference, subclass method is called hiding the superclass method. Question 4. What is a super keyword in Java? Variables and methods of the superclass can be overridden in the subclass. In case of overriding, a subclass object calls its variables and methods. The subclass cannot access the variables and methods of superclass because the overridden variables or methods hide the methods and variables of the superclass. But still, Java provides a way to access superclass members even if its members are overridden. Super is used to access superclass variables, methods, and constructors. Super can be used in two forms. 1. First form is for calling the superclass constructor. 2. Second one is to call superclass variables and methods. Super, if present, must be the first statement. Question 5. Difference between method overloading and method overriding in Java? Method overloading. Method overloading occurs within the same class. Since it involves only one class, inheritance is not involved. In overloading, return type need not be the same. Parameters must be different when we do overloading. Static polymorphism can be achieved using method overloading. In overloading, one method can't hide the other. Method overriding. Method overriding occurs between two classes, superclass and subclass. Since method overriding occurs between superclass and subclass, inheritance is involved. In overriding, return type must be the same. Parameters must be the same. Dynamic polymorphism can be achieved using method overriding. In overriding subclass, the method hides that of the superclass method. Question 6. Difference between abstract class and interface? Abstract class. An abstract class can contain abstract methods, concrete methods, or both. Except private, we can have any access specifier for methods in the abstract class. Except private, variables can have any access specifiers. We cannot achieve multiple inheritances using an abstract class. To implement an interface, we use the implements keyword. Interface. The interface contains only abstract methods. Access specifiers for methods in an interface must be public. Variables defined must be public, static, and final. Multiple inheritance in Java is implemented using the interface. To implement an interface, we use the implements keyword. Question 7. Why Java is a platform independent? The most unique feature of Java is platform independent. In any programming language, source code is compiled into executable code. This cannot be run across all platforms. When Java compiles a Java program, it generates an executable file called class file. This class file contains bytecodes. Bytecodes are interpreted only by JVMs. Since these JVMs are made available across all platforms by Sun Microsystems, we can execute this bytecode on any platform. Bytecode generated in a Windows environment can also be executed in a Linux environment. This makes the Java platform independent. Question 8. What is method overloading in Java? A class having two or more methods with the same name but with different arguments, then we say that those methods are overloaded. Static polymorphism is achieved in Java using method overloading. Method overloading is used when we want the methods to perform similar tasks but with different inputs or values. When an overloaded method is invoked, Java first checks the method name, the number of arguments, type of arguments. Based on this, compiler executes this method. The compiler decides which method to call at compile time. By using overloading, static polymorphism or static binding can be achieved in Java. Note: return type is not part of the method signature. We may have methods with different return types, but return type alone is not sufficient to call a method in Java. Question 9. What is the JIT compiler? JIT compiler stands for Just-in-Time Compiler. JIT compiler compiles bytecode into executable code. JIT is a part of JVM. JIT cannot convert a complete Java program into executable code. It converts as and when it is needed during execution. Question 10. What is bytecode in Java? When a Java compiler compiles a class, it generates a class file. This class file contains a set of instructions called bytecode. Bytecode is a machine-independent language and contains a set of instructions that are to be executed only by JVM. JVM can understand these bytecodes. Question 11. Difference between this and super in Java? The this method is used to access one constructor from another within the same class, while super is used to access the superclass constructor. Either this method or super method exists, it must be the first statement in the constructor. Question 12. What is a class? Classes are the fundamental unit in object-oriented programming. A class is a kind of blueprint or template for objects. Class defines variables and methods. A class tells what type of objects we are creating. For example, taking a department class tells us we can create department type objects. We can create any number of department objects. All programming constructs in Java reside in class. When JVM starts running, it first looks for the class when we compile. Every Java application must have at least one class and one main method. Class starts with the class keyword. A class definition must be saved in a class file that has the same class name. The file name must end with a Java extension. Here the sample code for your reference. If we see the given class when we compile, JVM loads the first class and generates a class file. When we run the program, we are running the class and then execute the main method. Question 13. What is an object? An object is an instance of the class. A class defines the type of object. Each object belongs to some class. Every object contains a state and behavior. The state is determined by the value of attributes, and behavior is called method. Objects are also called an instance. To instantiate the class, we declare the class type. Here the sample code for your reference. Question 14. What is a method in Java? It contains the executable body that can be applied to the specific object of the class. The method includes the method name, parameters or arguments, return type, and a body of executable code. Here the sample code. For example, public float add, int a, int b, int c. Methods can have multiple arguments. Separate with commas when we have multiple arguments. Question 15. What is encapsulation? The process of wrapping or putting up data into a single unit class and keeping data safe from misuse is called encapsulation. Through encapsulation, we can hide and protect the data stored in Java objects. Java supports encapsulation through access control. There are 4 access control modifiers in Java: public, private, protected, and default level. For example, take a car class. In the car, we have many parts which are not required for the driver to know what it consists of inside. He is required to know only how to start and stop the car. So we can expose what all are required and hide the rest by using encapsulation. Question 16. Why main method is public, static, and void in Java? Public. Here public is an access specifier which can be used outside the class. When the main method is declared public, it means it can be used outside the class. Static. To call a method we require an object. Sometimes it may be required to call a method without creating an object. Then we declare that method as static. JVM calls the main method without creating an object by declaring the keyword static. Void. The void return type is used when a method doesn't return any value. Main method doesn't return any value, so main is declared as void. Question 17. Explain about main method in Java. The main method is the starting point of execution for all Java applications. Here the sample code. Here string args are an array of string objects we need to pass from command line arguments. Every Java application must have at least one main method. Question 18. What is a constructor in Java? A constructor is a special method used to initialize objects in Java. We use constructors to initialize all variables in the class when an object is created. When an object is created, it is initialized automatically with the help of a constructor in Java. We have 2 types of constructors. 1. Default constructor. 2. Parameterized constructor. Question 19. What is the difference between the length and length method in Java? Length. In the string class we have the length method which is used to return the number of characters in the string. For example, string street is equal to hello world. System.out.println str.length. str.length will return 11 characters including space. Length, whereas we have length instance variable in arrays which will return the number of values or objects in an array. For example, string days is equal to sun, mo, wed, to, Friday, sat. Will return 6 since the number of values in the days array is 6. Question 20. What is ASCII code? ASCII stands for American Standard Code for Information Interchange. ASCII character range is 0 to 255. We can't add more characters to the ASCII character set. ASCII character set supports only English. That is the reason, if we see C language we can write C language only in English, we can't write in other languages because it uses ASCII code. Thank you for watching our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon to get new video updates.